Okay, super. So then I give the floor to Assela. So it's a colleague of mine, and associate professor in asset management, and the coordinator of the current phase of the program.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for joining both face-to-face and online for the seminar on small island development scale. I will try to be quick because the highlight of the program is not us, but our alumni who will share their experiences in movement. The island paradise, crystal clear, blue-green waters, pristine white beaches, and swaying palm trees. We often imagine these heavenly scenes, even when stories warn of the challenges that come with living surrounded by sea on small lands. It is rare to see images of the Maldives in the immediate aftermath of the 2004 tsunami, or the hundreds of thousands of tons of plastic waste floating around the Caribbean islands. Climate change, caused by human activities, is causing sea levels to rise, leading to the loss of many islands. The Carteret Island in Papua New Guinea, for example, are facing threat of being submerged, and the people have only started evacuating. By 2030, Kiribati, a nation consisting of 33 atolls in the Pacific Ocean, might become uninhabitable. Issues like wave disposal and the resulting damage to fishing zones, land subsidence and depletion of freshwater resources pose significant challenges to the island inhabitants. Small populations scattered over small lands make it hard to provide necessary services and to manage the infrastructure that provides those sustenance. Join us as we journey deeper into the realm of small island developing states, unmasking the realities that lie beneath the surface. Together, let us shed light on their landscapes, environments, diplomacy, economies, vulnerability, and the great achievements. And we shall discover the intertwined fate that binds these remarkable islands in their pursuit of sustainable development. Compliments to Alma, who directed and shot this short movie, which I think is impressive. I want to go into this page. A week ago, United Nations released this landmark report called Surging Seas, and one of the quotations from the Director General of the UN was, of the Secretary General of the UN was, if we save the Pacific, we also save ourselves. So we increasingly see small island developing states as the harbinger of, at the forefront of the vulnerability we are facing as a species, as a global system. But the vulnerabilities of small islands are not limited to climate. If you look at the aftermath of 2008 financial crisis, you can see that the SIDS were hit harder than harder than the developing countries as a whole, and they took longer to recover. And there's another very interesting aspect about SIDS, that is, on the surface, these countries are relatively prosperous. They have a slightly higher GDP than many developing countries, at least compared to the average of developing countries. So the vulnerability is sometimes hidden. Luckily for us, recently the United Nations, again pushed by the small island developing states, came with this new measure called multidimensional vulnerability index, which sort of frames this vulnerability in a very fair way as opposed to the GDP alone. So you can see that those blue dots in the graph, these are SIDS, and they also, while they have higher GDP compared to many developing countries, they have also higher vulnerability. So we make the point that especially when these countries are graduating with imports into middle income and higher income countries, actually we are whitewashing or hiding the vulnerability under the screen of GDP measurements. So that vulnerability does not go away just because they graduate into lower and middle income countries. Why they are vulnerable? There can be myriad of reasons, but one reason is clear if you look at this graph. What it shows is that there are these countries, if you look at these countries like Maldives, like Solomon Islands, as states, you really don't see the whole vulnerability. You have to look at them as constituent islands. Maldives has more than 186 inhabited islands outside the capital. These are tiny land masses with very high population densities combined with very low populations. So it is a real challenge for us to prepare, to provide water supply, water security, and other infrastructure services for these islands. And it's a real challenge for the states to handle these services in their constituent islands. So vulnerability of SIDS, in our opinion, is posed by 4 different important aspects. One is the change, including climate change but not limited to. And the other is the economics, because most of these countries are very heavily dependent on single economic activity, namely the tourism. Maldives, for example, has 80% of its GDP covered by tourism. That's a lot. And there are many other countries like that. And many of these countries are also facing unsustainable debt. And also, most importantly, they have this unique phenomenon that we collectively call as islandness. That's the remoteness, that's the small size, that's the small resource base. So combined, we call it islandness. So these are the vulnerabilities that in the domains of environment, social and economic realms that these islands are faced. But it's not all about vulnerabilities. If you look at the past, we realize that island has been teaching us. Young Charles Darwin, when he was visiting the Galapagos Islands, he had this unique opportunity to see how the evolution was happening in reality. And we think that that experience was what drove him, somewhat hesitantly of course, history, to come up with the idea of natural evolution. Another example is Margaret Mead and Branislaw Malinowski. Their work in Papua New Guinea and Admiralty Islands, they actually put the foundation for the discipline we call today as ethnography. Right? So islands have given us a lot already. And they keep on giving us. Islands today, as was mentioned earlier, are working as the early warning signs for the rest of the world. They are the canaries in the coal mine of climate change. And also, in a positive sense, these are living laboratories, excellent living laboratories, because, when you look at a population of about 1,000, 2,000 people living in a well-defined landmass, that's a really good opportunity for us to observe some of the natural, social, and other phenomena in action. So, in a good sense, islands are living laboratories. So, whatever money we invest in research on islands are not only for the islands, actually they are for the world. Laura Watts, who is an anthropologist from Edinburgh and ethnographer, said, islands are barometers for the earth, advanced indicators for extreme reproductions of what is the future elsewhere. That's the point. The challenges we face as humanity are concentrated in islands. So what we learn from islands, actually we can apply and we can use in the rest of the world. So these are some of the reasons why we were focusing, as we pointed out, on the SIDS program. And I'm not going to take too much time on this because Wim was very eloquent in explaining the past of this program. We started in 2015. We have funded about 100 graduates, but we have 130 graduates coming from SIDS. We have organized various learning events, regional seminars, and other activities. Like, for example, a couple of months ago, we organized a hackathon focusing on SIDS, which was extremely well attended. But the main menu today is the open online course that we have been developing in the past few years actually, but this year we took an accelerated path to finish developing this. So we are launching this open online course. So I'm going to talk about it very briefly. And we have also started using our alumni as a basis, our scholarship program as a basis, to build bigger and better things like research programs related to SIDS and so on. This MOOC about Small Island Development Stage is a very introductory sort of open online course. It's free, 100% free and open. It is designed as a self-paced, self-directed learning experience with self-assessment, and the participants will get certificate of completion. What is important for me personally, and what is really interesting about this is a very much demand-driven project. We started this, Eric would remember this, started this by asking our alumni, 130 alumni, okay, what is missing? They came up with the topics, they said that these are the things that we are missing. And some of them were very eloquent, saying that we studied in a SIDS program at IIT, but IIT did not have many SIDS topics. Right? So this was the starting point for this development of this course. And the content was, I'm happy to say, co-created by the SIDS alumni and IIT staff together. So we are co-authors in this endeavor. And it is reviewed by SIDS alumni again. Right? So this is a very real co-creation process that happened. Right? And these few days, starting from Monday, today and tomorrow, as we pointed out, these SIDS alumni are together with us developing case studies for this MOOC. The thematic areas, as you can see on the tabs, have been done and finished, and now we are creating some iterative case studies, and they have been developing these case studies. Some of the examples are here. We are making good progress, and hopefully by tomorrow we'll have some suite of good case studies that really come from real world examples from the SIDS created by SIDS professionals youth. So, finally, somebody has asked, hydrology is hydrology, finance is finance, asset management is asset management. Why do you try to separate it for SIDS? Our answer for that is the size matters. By size, what we mean is not only the physical size, but limited resource base, the special economic constraints and things like that. So SIDS are a very special case that we need to pay special attention. And they have special needs, and we have seen time and again of solutions that have been copied from the rest of the world and tried to apply in SIDS, but they don't work sustainably because of the difference in realities. So that is why we create SIDS, and also they are living laboratories. The graph on the right shows a very interesting look about the vulnerability. There are many SIDS islands that have very long coastlines surrounding a very small amount of land. Countries like Micronesia, Palau, Kiribati, Maldives, Seychelles, Marshall Islands, Nauru and Tuvalu have on average less than 1 square meter of land surrounded by 1 kilometer length of coastline. So, talk about vulnerability. So, this is the reality that we are talking about. So, with that, I would like to stop here. And for the next part, I would like to introduce my colleague and dear friend, Adam Moodin, who is, as was introduced, who is from the modeling, who is a SIDS alumni and doing PhD here now, who is going to guide the panel discussion. Adam.
A very good afternoon.